Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of SkyTier. Welcome to another World Qualifier game match between Eric and Gameslayer. I am the commander reporting in for duty. Joining me, the German master of efficiency who's been complaining for the last 10 minutes that we're late, Zaraghul.
Buenos dias. Yeah, but complaining is not my only job here today. We have the pleasure to be your hosts for this evening here, ladies and
It's true.
gentlemen, with the finals match of the October 22 World Qualifier. So,
Yes, and, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So, interestingly enough, this match is between two players who have already been qualified for the finals, right? For the grand
That is
finals.
correct.
Okay.
This final matters just as much as your high school athletic performance 10 years later. Not at all. As Eric has already qualified, which means, really, this is just for bragging rights.
Okay. Wow. High school sports. Wow.
Is that it? You're just going to leave me hanging like this as usual?
Yeah, as usual.
Wow. Unbelievable. Man, you don't cast as someone for 3 months and they abandon you out in the cold. Whatever. All right, so before the match started, we did go ahead and take care of the before game, pre-game shenanigans. Eric is the top seed in this tournament, so he does elect to win the coin toss, or excuse me, he does get to choose what to win from the coin toss. He elected to go second. And in response, Gameslayer said, nope, we are not playing with Terror of the Endless Night. We are bringing my outsider, the Silent Ambassador. Frankly, my personal favorite, just because of the flexibility and diversity of her total skill options. You can use her for combat damage. You can use her for control manipulation. You can do prediction. You can do status infliction. Easily one of the most versatile outsiders, probably the hardest to master. So we're going to go ahead and see what Gameslayer and Eric can do with that. Also, of course, the decks are available in your description box. You can take a look at those. Gameslayer is bringing a full rainbow deck. So we have Yami, Nelliclin, Doomies, Ishatosk, Borhild, and Akimo. Every element is represented here. And interestingly enough, the card selection does not entirely match the runes of the hero. For example, Yami has a Vorhild's Oath. We do see her deployed. Ishatosk has not yet actually been picked, but I suspect that they will be picked shortly. Vorhild is bringing some Psychic Shields, Stone Barricades, and of course the Presences, making sense going against Eric's primarily blue, yellow, and green composition here. We did see this featured in a previous round from the round 4 of the Swiss rounds of this particular competition. So Eric has already deployed Freyhill and Shalavi. Obviously, given that our game-winning conditions are double kill, obstinacy, and onslaught, it's going to be a violent game. And Zaraghul, we love to see violence, do we not?
Yeah, we love to see violence. So, this is Hera, right? Not Shilavi.
Oh, that is her. My bad.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to see one of the newest heroes in the new hero set, which has been the latest release on SkyTier Games.
Yep.
So, do we know if Eric brings some of the new cards, especially for
I will tell you in just a second. So, yes. So Haral actually is holding 1 Bewitch, 1 Shove, 1 Discovery in the Depths, 1 Deny Faith, and then Endless Disciples was the previous release. Yes, so he does have a couple new cards of the blue-yellow variety. And looking across the line, Freyhill actually has 2 more Deny Faiths, so we will see that as well. And Korjoff is holding a Greater Purpose.
Wow.
So we will see if he elects to bring Korjoff, then we will have potential to see quite a few of the new yellow-blue cards. And there is indeed Korjoff. Now Shalavi is on the field. I was really just predicting. They call me Commander Damas.
Oh my god.
Are you tired of me yet? We've only been broadcasting about 3 minutes. I think I'm doing a pretty good job here, personally.
Yeah, this is a quick and heavy start for every one of us.
So, that being said, taking a look at Gameslayer's final options there, we do note that he has selected Akimo and Nelliclin. So, again, total rainbow representation on Gameslayer's slide there. He does have all 4 elements. Of course, Nelliclin, with the pillar generation, does have access to all 4 runes. So, look to see Gameslayer make a lot of use of that particular ability to be able to cast those yellow and red spells, of which there are a ton. So let's go ahead and do the rundown of cards real fast now that there's been selections. So with Yami, we have 3 Dance of Death, 1 Vorhild's Oath, 2 Redirects, 1 Soul Scream, and 3 Unstoppable. Neliclin brings 1 Skytear Discharge, 1 Dream of Talit, 3 Release the Spirits, 2 Lure of the Tainted, and 2 Rampant Hatreds. Akimo is bringing 1 Psychic Shield, 2 Explosive Intervention, 1 Vorhild's Oath, 2 Dooms, and 3 Akimo's Oath. And finally, Vorhild brings 1 Psychic Shield, 1 Vorhild's Oath, 2 Stone Barricades, 3 Presences, 1 Ice Wall, and a Topple. Do you have Eric's up, or would you like me to run through his cards as well?
No, actually, I'm on the wrong screen for that.
Okay,
Sorry,
no
I don't have a look at the decks right now, actually.
No problem. I will go through those as well then.
Yeah, I was having, I was trying to put off on some of the newer cards. So you said we had Greater Purpose, right?
That is correct. Yes, Korjov has Greater Purpose, Heightened Senses, which is an old card, Where Faith Falls, and the Torn Banners. The obviously Torn Banners coming from the Unforgotten set, but Shalavi is bringing 3 Shattermind, 3 Call the Weak, 3 Nightmares Incarnate. So a lot of direct damage coming off of Shalavi there. We're gonna love to see that. Hiral is bringing 1 Bewitch, 1 Shove, 1 Discovery in the Deeps, 1 Deny Faith, 2 Endless Disciples, and 3 Sudden Distractions. Ooh, Sudden Distraction. Very nice. That could be fun. And then, of course, Freyhill bringing the obligatory presence. If you're playing blue and you're not playing presence, you're hardcore handicapping yourself. 3 Chasms, 2 Deny Faiths, and an Endless Disciple as well. So by not bringing Estrida, not bringing Ekrit, we are missing out on some manipulation of positioning with Shove and Time Warp. Bewitching is gone, Nature Reclaims is gone, Ice Walls are gone, Wind Blasts are gone. But given that we have 3 kill conditions here, not really, I think, going to be that important. Because Akimo, with Akimo's Oath, does lots of damage.
Absolutely. So, for sure, Akimo is one of the best heroes in the setup here to get other heroes down at their HP points and to get them closer to the target, let's say Onslaught or Obstinacy. Double kill is always like a gambling game, right?
Yep.
Because you need to invest a lot of stuff into it, and it could be easily countered by some of the cards that are here in the matchup. Or maybe the situation doesn't match perfectly, so double kill might not be the first option for both players.
Right.
Still, Onslaught, Obstinacy are 2 victory conditions, which are, I think relatively easy to fulfill. Onslaught in general easier, right?
Yes.
Than Obstinacy, because also for Obstinacy you want to kill the hero that you want to defeat the second time as well. You want to kill it right away in round number 1. And so
Exactly.
As we know, this game is a lot about positioning the heroes, positioning them correctly on the battlefield to get the most out of the situations. And this is the point here. So, for example, you can put someone like Vorhild here into the dome openly, because in general, she can, through her shapeshift skills, she can't be targeted.
Correct.
So how do we solve this then?
Well, the first thing that we have here is we're going to move, we're going to lead. So basically at this point, Eric does have to match because, again, remember, this is an open deck tournament. So both players are aware of what's in each other's decks as a result of the drafts. Again, obviously this match does not have position implication. Eric has qualified for the World Championships prior to this match, which means Gameslayer, regardless of whether he wins or not, automatically qualifies as well. So this is purely for bragging rights to see who is this particular tournament's winner.
Yeah.
And of course, it's still good practice. to play at a high level and get ready for the World Qualifier, which is coming up in under a month, actually, for Season 3. Wow. Man, I remember back when we were in good old Season 1 and we were just throwing out the new heroes of Kumaya, Shadris, Vorhild, Nelliclin. This was back before they had the double worship function.
Oh, yes.
Nostalgia. By the way, I completely ignored your question of how we solve this. Let me get back to that now.
Yeah, it's like
So-
how do we solve the problem with shapeshifted forehead, for example? I mean,
Right.
newer players, and I see some newer names here in our YouTube channel. So welcome to all the new faces here.
Yes, welcome.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask them just in the chat, and then we're going to answer them as good as we can.
Yes. So in this case here, so Gameslayer going for the traditional Yami open, move skirmish, and I assume then he's going to worship onto Freyhill to get Yami into the dome because, no! The Yami ultimate wasted on the minion. You hate to see it.
Oh my god. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Oh, it's just tragedy. So in this case here, I expect to see a dome pile. Now, remember the Gameslayer does have the flux, which means if Eric just matches him 1-for-1 in the dome, there is a chance that if Gameslayer is holding that presence, he can just pop the flux and then auto-win the dome, and there's actually nothing that Eric can do about that in round 1. Given that we talked about the importance of the Silent Ambassador, it is very, very important to win that, because if you're doing a dome brawl, the Stone Storm, that AoE slowing ability, very, very, very powerful round 1. You slow a bunch of people. It makes them hard to run away, especially if you're Gameslayer. You get to go first in the second round. If everybody's clumped up, you send in a chemo slashy, people die, and we're already building counters towards Onslaught and Obstinacy. We see there that the move Skirmish Worship from Yami does go through, which does result in minor damage to Freyhill. She is also marked. Also, we have a question. Gameslayer is running Release the Spirits, correct? He is actually running 3 copies of that. They come from Nelliclin, yes. So he does have the ability to disable conditions if necessary.
Yeah.
Eric, now going with Shillavi. Okay. Oh! All right, so Nelliclin is going to unleash Skytear Discharge. Gameslayer says, fine, if you want to have a dome brawl, let's do it, but it's going to cost you. So now Eric has to decide, is he going to eat the 2+ from moving Shillavi into the dome, or does he just send Shillavi over into lane 2 to win? No, we're going to take the damage. Okay.
This is going
to
be
I like it.
A dome brawl, right?
Okay, yep, 3 damage to Shillavi brings her to 18. I am so proud of Eric finally stepping away from playing control and embracing the glory of a bloodbath. Oh, okay, double flip there, +1. That will be 4 damage to Yami, taking her down to 14. With both Haral and Kordjoff left to go. So there's a chance that Yami actually gets fairly low in this first round.
I mean, through that positioning, she is a good target here for Eric, right?
Yep.
And at least Kordjoff doesn't matter about the armor that Yami is being provided. So yeah, let's see what he's going to resolve. I mean, he went to the dark side, right? With with now playing more aggressive. I mean, we were all surprised seeing that battle report through. I don't remember, what was it again? Obstinacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, closing out the round there. Oh, this does make things a little bit more challenging for Gameslayer, as the Freyhill healing does benefit the Blue Blob. Remember, Blue Blob was one of the first kind of major compositions that we saw back when Skytear was in its infancy. Obviously, the game has changed significantly since then. We've got 8 more heroes, about 100 new cards, but the Blue Blob tightening up 4 blue heroes so that they can all benefit off of each other's within 3 abilities. In this particular case, we're looking at Freyhill's healing ability. We did see that Eric low rolled on the flip. That's not surprising. Eric does have a lot of high mana, low modifier cards, but still 1 HP here, 2 HP there can add up over time. So Shalavi back up to 16 HP, but we still have a chemo coming ready to charge down the lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And he in general is a big threat. Absolutely.
Yes. Now, Gameslayer could potentially go for the move attack on Freyhill and then Akima's Oath skirmish Freyhill, and that will 100 to 0 her. If you want to pop the Flux, that will instantly kill Freyhill. And Freyhill does have a lead card, which would be extraordinarily beneficial.
Ouch.
Eric does not have charms either, so he can't cleanse the mark, which is a big part of preventing this Akima's Oath assassination.
Okay, good question here. So with 3 kill objectives, why do you think Gameslayer didn't draft Ishatosk with the Gulbjorn's Betrayals and the Rampant Hatred? I mean, looking at this blob here, actually, this could have been a really good decision to pick Ishatosk, especially with those cards. So in this constellation here, setting up and positioning the heroes, which we didn't know how they are going to position the heroes, of course. So the game could have developed also into one of the lanes. I mean, not explosive intervention.
All right, Neliklin's going to play. I have my thoughts on that, and we'll get to those in just a second.
Okay.
But first, we have explosive intervention coming down. So now Gameslayer is going to get to take a look at Eric's hand.
Okay.
And potentially discard.
I'll just zoom out and see if we can see the hand. Okay.
Oh, no. We're going to
did.
deny that right now.
Okay.
Shalavi with the greater purpose. Okay.
So he's going to counter that power card on the stack. With mana cost 1 or less, played by target enemy hero, apply fast to the caster.
Yep, so Shalavi is now speed. Okay. So, yeah, counter is basically just cancel. So, unfortunately, no explosive intervention there. What a tragedy. But it does force that card out earlier, which could be beneficial. So, Gameslayer probably looking to discard any presences in Eric's hand to start round 2 off, eliminating those, or perhaps he had something else in mind that he was looking to get rid of. But nevertheless, the greater purpose is going to prevent that.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the chat's question about why not bring Ishatosk. So I think the reason is just because although the Rampant Hatred would be okay, Gulbjorn's Betrayal, given that a lot of Gameslayer's heroes don't have a lot of armor, Gulbjorn's Betrayal maybe not the best call here. Obviously, Ishatosk would benefit from Gulbjorn's Betrayal itself, but that kind of limits where we can use it. And also, in terms of attack, speaking of attacks from Neliklin going into Freyhill there, Freyhill is about to get assassinated by Akimo, by the way. Just in case in case that wasn't clear to anyone, Akimo is coming for Freyhill. But looking at the cards from Yami, Neliklin, and Akimo, those are all far more aggressive based cards. We've got the Dance of Death, which is going to do a lot of ramp damage. Lure of the Tainted can do a lot of damage as well. Neliklin himself does bring 2 Rampant Hatreds as opposed to Ishatosk's 1. And Akimo, is Akimo. So in this case, I think that, and of course, Vorhild came along because she has presences. So I would not be surprised if she was just kind of the mandatory presence bringer here due to the fact that presence is, now that Sinkhole has officially been banned, presence might be the objectively best card in the deck, I think. And so therefore, Ishatosk basically got overruled as you're good, the others are better.
Yeah, those are only 3 cards, right? That could be really beneficial in this setup. And there are other heroes with far more cards helping here. Yeah, so I totally agree.
Hill is down to 9 off of the Neliklin skirmish. Does Neliclin back up? I assume you want to back him up? Because otherwise, Eric has easy access to Neliclin?
Where would you want to put him?
I would probably put him in the back row, like the back row of the dome. So that way, or alternatively, if you have a no, wait, Neliclin already cast a spell. Never mind. Stone Barricade wouldn't help you here. Yeah, I would just put Neliclin in the back, so that way Korjoff has to kind of come deep into the dome.
Yeah, but still, wouldn't he still go for Yami?
Well, he could, but the thing is, Yami has armor, so obviously Korjoff ignores that armor, but Harel does not.
That's true.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Hold on. If you back up enough, then you might actually be exposed to Harel's chakram attack, so maybe that wouldn't be the best placement.
Yeah.
You'd have to move and skirmish, but then you could yeah. Never mind. No, you'd chakram 3 people if you skirmished on top of the dome control dome. You just chakram blast 3. Oh no, that's 3 actions, so you'd have to have done something different. But all right. Anyways, Vorhild goes down. The chakram does come through. Speaking of,
yep.
And so therefore does deal 3 damage. Of course, Vorhild is immune to being targeted, but the chakram is not a targeting attack. It is just a sweeping AOE, which she is still vulnerable to. Back in the good old days before we... okay. Down comes the Doom. So, interesting that he's dooming Freyhill.
Yeah.
Did he? No, he didn't pop the... Oh, okay, he just picked it up and put it back down. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, why did he double doom?
Yeah, because of the warship. As a reaction on the warship.
Right.
Because Freyhill is not shape-shifted. And through this, she might heal again. Could you pick up the HP tokens from Arkimo and Korjov just to see if the overlay gets them? Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Success.
Thank you. Heightened senses.
Heightened senses. Okay, so that was the... I assume that was the burn card.
Yeah, that should be the mana burn card, yeah.
Oh, no. Eric played that.
Oh.
That was played.
As a reaction?
Looks like it, yeah.
Played by?
Yeah, because it's on the... Yeah.
Played by?
Freyhill.
Mm-hmm.
So predict X, where X is the number of conditions on the caster. That was 1, obviously. So he predicted 1 and then drew. And so now we're going to burn the Where Faith Falls. Okay. Now, unfortunately, Gameslayer does not have Divine Retribution, or Deserved Retribution, excuse me, in his deck. Great card. Probably my favorite one from the release. That would have been cool, although obviously you probably wouldn't play it till round number 2 anyways. But that could have potentially set up for a bunch of damage. So,
yep.
What is he planning that he doesn't want Freyhill to have mana? Dun da da! Charge! Hey, look, there's a flux. Bet you it's Akimo's Oath. Bet me. Oh, look, it's Akimo's Oath. I'm shocked. You may not be able to see my face, but I'm covered with shock and awe right now.
No, you aren't.
No, I'm not.
Didn't you call it?
I did. So Akimo's Oath, for those of you who have never gotten a chance to play this disgustingly awesome card. If target adjacent enemy hero is marked, apply Frenzy to the caster. Otherwise, apply Mark to the caster. Excuse me, Mark to the target. The caster takes a bonus attack action against the target. Guess what? Freyhill was already marked, which means Akimo is getting Frenzy. Oh, by the way, Akimo also gets bonus damage against marked heroes again, so this flip is 7++.
Yeah, it is just ouch.
Freyhill goes boom. Gameslayer hit the shield, the psychic shield on the flip for a +3. Oh, by the way, Gameslayer has 2 actions left with Akimo. There is actually a chance that he just immediately guns down Harel and this game is over.
How?
If he hits 2 +3s, this game is just over.
No, she lovey.
Oh, Where's the green play? That would have been hysterical. Oh my god, that would have been hysterical. It's like, so anyways, I kill your one hero from double digits, and then I take your other one from 15 to 0 instantly. That hurts.
Yeah, but still, Shilavi doesn't have any armor.
Shilavi doesn't have armor. That's true. Oh yeah, Harel has an armor point, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Okay, that's never mind. Okay, so you probably wouldn't 100%.
So
okay, so anyways, 2 on the skirmish does deal 4 damage to Shilavi, puts her down to 12, and now we do an attack action. Also, Shilavi does do 2 damage revenge. From being shapeshifted, but Gameslayer doesn't care. There goes the other attack. So this one is only going to be 6 ++. 7. Shilavi is not marked, so therefore Akimo does not get the bonus. Only as Shilavi is down to 5. 5 HP. Oh, by the way, Gameslayer is going to win the dome at this point, which means Shilavi is about to die as soon as Eric does something with Korjov. In the meantime, Amin has a question. What is the point of Predict 1 before the mana burn? So the point of Predict 1 is because that card not only lets you predict 1, but it also lets you draw a card. So Eric can take a look at that card and see, do I want this, or do I just let it burn on Freyhill? Perhaps he wanted the card to go to his hand, either for this round or the next round, or he just doesn't care. So it is a chance to look at the card and see, maybe I save this, or just let that be the sacrifice. Oh, so Korjov is going into the dome and attacking Yami. So I agree, this is probably Eric's best point, is he's got to start nuking, attacking Chemo. Attacking Chemo, yep. So I agree, Eric has to start dealing some damage. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Also, further, unfortunately, he's clumped everybody together. Which means you don't even need to waste an action doing Wormhole.
No.
You just Stone Blast everybody. Like, this is the power of Akimo's Oath, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
So they are resolving the lanes. Lane number 1 here, counting the difference here. This was 1. So it was 1 damage against one of the minions from Eric. So he did just take 1 away, put them back again. And on lane number 2, we have a tie, so nothing happens. And
but more importantly,
we have Silent Ambassador. And as you said, it's one of your favorites.
It's time for Shilavi to die.
Outsider. So general attack. Oh, let me see. Maybe I can put that bigger on the screen.
Yeah, if you alt on the card, you can definitely zoom in on it.
Yeah.
So in this situation here,
there we go.
You Stone Storm the 3 people. Also, by the way, because Freyhill activated already, she doesn't come back for turn 3. So Gameslayer automatically has an advantage going into round 2, and he gets to go first, and Shilavi is about to die. So I don't want to call it before it's over, but it's pretty. Yeah,
this is 5.
Okay.
3.
Yeah, that's a 5. So now we Stone Storm. And slowed the other 2 as Shilavi dies here. Gameslayer draws another card.
It's second point on Onslaught for Gameslayer.
Second point on Onslaught. And so now Eric has Harel and Korjov left.
Stone Storm.
Neither of whom are...
-1.
The -1, okay.
So no damage.
No. Oh, wow. So he does get the 1.
But they still get the slow.
Right. Yes, because the slowing effect is not dependent on dealing damage. Very important key point there that you get to. Sometimes you have to damage someone in order to inflict the secondary... Oh, there's the +2. Sometimes you have to damage someone in order to inflict the secondary effect, but Stone Storm, not so. In Stone Storm, it is damage and apply the slow, regardless of what you flip. Giacomo, hello, welcome. You're here right in the middle of a slaughter. Gameslayer is on a vengeance mission.
Buenos dias. Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
So, if I'm Gameslayer, activate Akimo, worship on Korjov to move closer to him, attack, skirmish.
Akimo's Oath.
Question mark profit? Yeah, Akima's Oath win game. We've seen two of them, right? He's played Gameslayer's played one, and then he flipped the other one there. And so
Yeah, he might have a third
he
one.
could have one.
Yeah.
He could have the third one.
He's he has 7 cards in hand.
13 in
Eric
the
is with
deck.
6. Yeah.
Yep. So
There's
there's
the
about
chance.
a 1/3 chance.
Mhm.
Okay, there's the worship.
Dance of Death.
Oh my god.
Lure of the Tainted. Sorry, what?
Oh my god, this is overkill.
Yeah, just
This
a little
isn't
bit.
even. This is. I can't even. This is just why. This is so brutal.
So,
Okay, so
Lure of the Tainted. When an enemy here within 3 axes gains mark, the caster deals X plus a card damage to that enemy hero, where X is the caster's attack value.
which is a chemo.
Yeah, who casted the card, right? And
Correct. And then
Dance of
Yami.
Death. When the caster damages a marked enemy hero, if the caster has Frenzy, they get +1 attack. Otherwise, apply Frenzy to the caster. What? Yeah.
And she double casted that.
She double casted
Oh my
it.
god.
And
there's the
flips it
+3. Oh my god. So Akimo is going to deal 7 damage. And now Yami is just gonna end the game. This is over. Like this literally ends right here.
And Giacomo was writing hilarious stuff like, this is a MOBA
Bobo, short for Massacre on Board
Akimo.
Attacking.
Yeah.
Akimo, yeah. Massacre on Board, comma, Akimo. So Yami is basically getting double ramping effects there. She now has Frenzy and she has a +1. She's going to worship on Korjov. This is overkill.
No,
this is absolutely unnecessary.
It's a 2+.
This is so unnecessary.
2+.
So even with the 2+ doesn't kill, then she gets another +2, which basically means she's gonna swing for 7+. Like, this is so unnecessary, but yet so ridiculous. I can't even commentate this seriously for how ridiculous this is.
Oh, that's a nice idea, Giacomo.
Not that I comment.
You save cardboard and don't do the lanes at all.
Exactly, Giacomo. That's what I'm saying. You know, like, okay, +1. Oh my God, Korjov is.
He's dead.
Yeah, that's it. That's game.
That's
Boom,
game
over. Oh my God, that was awesome. I love
GG.
everything about that. Good game, Gameslayer. Well done. Well played. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the power of a chemo opening. That was special.
That was hilarious fast game.
You know what? The funny thing is, we started this game at 3:11. My time, 3:11, which means we spent more time in the pre-room and prepping than we did in the actual game.
We did. I don't know what is more hilarious, watching the game or having or being spending more time beforehand and afterwards, I think.
Oh my God. Shall we go and chat with the players?
Yeah, just let me see if I can switch over there. Yeah, I jumped there. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well,
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that was the Lore of the Tainted play on top of the Double Death's Dance. I tried to keep a straight face, but I'm like, this is so unnecessarily overkill.
It was. I could have kept up redirect, but I wanted to play my Dance of Death.
Eric, know that I genuinely have sympathy for what just happened to your Korjov. That was...
To everyone.
It happens to Korjov, every other game.
It's true.
Korjov's used to it. He has 14 health, no arm.
There's a reason why he's probably the least picked blue hero.
I had him in the corner, so he had to go last, and he did. He just, he went through all my bodyguards first.
Yep. Yeah, I broke through everyone else. Korjov was last. He wasn't allowed to revenge. I made a significant misplay with the Doom because I could have waited until he'd worshipped on Frail, waited for the heal to go on the stack, and then Doomed.
Oh,
So that was a
yes.
mistake. But
Right, that makes sense.
I wasn't too worried.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you chipping at the Freyhill, I talked to Zaraghul and I said, 10-1, Gameslayer's gotten a chemo oath and Freyhill's just dead. And then as soon as you moved it next to it, it's like, okay, the slaughter begins here.
So, I mean, did you see him toss the presents? Like, when he
Yeah.
tossed the presents, I'm like, he either has a second presence or he has a Chemo's Oath. And then he didn't play presents with his 2 blue heroes. I'm like, yep, that's a Chemo's Oath. I can't
Here it
imagine what else he
comes.
would keep. Yep.
Can't play around it. You're just dead. It flips a +3, which is exactly lethal on Frail. Didn't even have to waste my skirmish.
Yeah, that was I think probably the good point there was the not have. I mean, obviously, I don't think it would have made too much of a difference in the end, given what you just did here. But yeah, not having to skirmish on the Freyhill and getting to dump the rest of the damage into other people was definitely nice.
Flipped a -1 on the Stone Storm. Akima's Oath is such a bad card. Why do I include -1s in the deck?
Woe betide ye.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Giacomo appeared right at the start of round 2 and then has immediately said, that was fast, time to put the kids to bed.
And
Yeah,
he
the
wants to
big-
design a new map, just no lanes, only a dome. Just to save cardboard in the future.
That's the new Gameslayer map, alright. Yeah, he had... Eric, you just had no chance, as I was saying. You just had no chance with how the victory conditions played out. Like, so I picked Vorhild at the very start with Frail next because I was trying to force the Shilvi and Korjov to not be brought. Because if Shilvi and Korjov aren't brought, he can't win the game because Astrida and Ekrit are his control characters.
Right.
And you have no control victory condition. So he was kind of just forced to bring them into a Vorhild, which never feels good.
Right.
'Cause they
Also,
both
by the
have-
way, go ahead.
Because they both have no armor. And then he attacked with Haral onto Vorhild, which I was scared Nelkin was going to get blown up by Haral Korjov, just both flipping +3s.
Right.
So I was glad when I went into Vorhild, but she does die eventually.
Right.
But yeah.
And also, so Gameslayer, we actually had a question from the chat at one point, and we gave our thoughts, but I thought I'd ask you directly as well. So, with 3 kill objectives, why do you think Gameslayer didn't draft Ishitosk with the Gulbjorn's Betrayal and the Rampant Hatred? So, would you explain the thought process behind that decision, please?
Well, Yami has Dance of Death, which is incredibly powerful against 0 armor heroes.
Oh, okay.
Korjov and Shilvi both are incredibly weak to Yami.
Mhm.
Yami can actually keep up with a Korjov if Korjov ever tries to run away, which is very nice. Ixatosk, however, well, the Lure of the Tainteds and Release the Spirits were on Nelaclin. I was trying to think between the two of them, and I went with Nelaclin because I think it's more data. I'm much more comfortable with my Ixatosk than my Nelaclin, so I wanted to see how the Nelaclin works in this matchup. The Release the Spirits I thought could have been quite relevant against his Heral. And Lure of the Tainted is a very, very good card. And there's more Rampant Hatreds on Nelaclin than Ixatosk.
All right, thank you. So, that pretty much tracked with what we said then.
Who the heck's using Gulbjorn's Betrayal? Let's be honest, there's no minions in this game.
Right, that was the other point too. Given that it
I
was
can whiff someone else's attack, but Haral's ultimate attack action ignores it, I believe. They can use their armor value instead of their attack value, but it ignores the fact that they're forced into melee.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can't whiff the Haral attack, and Korjov is going to be melee anyway a lot of the time.
Right. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Any other questions, Zaraghul? I think this was a pretty fast game, so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Akima's Oath go boom, boom, boom. It pretty much summarizes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a disgustingly powerful card. On Akimo, specifically.
Yeah, other heroes that use it, it's not nearly as bad.
Mhm.
But Akimo specifically gets all the value out of it.
Yeah.
And the disadvantage is you have to bring Akimo, which...
Akimo with an Akimo's Oath will one-shot every single character in the game other than Yami or Kepiax, realistically.
Once again, point number 987 about why Yami is amazing. That's all I have to say.
Plus 2 health, 18 health, 1 armor.
All I have to say, ladies and
So why is Brilvar not better suited to survive?
You know, you've got a good point. Brilvar is better suited to survive if
Okay.
he's worshipped. You're quite right. Ignore me. Well, don't ignore me. I like.
I was gonna say,
attention,
you like
but-
attention way too much for that to happen.
Yeah, but come on.
Oh, and
That's
you
what
didn't
you
even
got.
mention the other person that's probably even better to survive is Kenway. Probably better than Yami.
Oh.
Well, only if you've got Whisper of
Well,
Nocturne.
thank you very
Otherwise, I
much
just
for
don't
joining us,
attack
everybody. I guess it's time for us to go. Have a great day.
it. It's true. It's true. You can run away from a Chemo's Oath.
Yeah, we hate it.
Well, you can still do it, but you have to do it the other way around, right? You have to go attack, and then whilst her movement is on the
Right.
stack from the attack, you can Chemo's Oath, which
Cut
then
her
means
again,
that
Yeah.
you
Oh,
don't get that
true.
extra frenzy damage.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, you could still potentially 100 to 0 her because if she's marked, that's still 5 plus, plus on the flip,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then another 7 plus. So as long as you flip well, you can still cut her down.
You can
before
still
she
kill
runs
her,
away.
but it's 2
Yeah.
less damage than Yami would take. So just saying,
Right.
Kenway
Yeah,
is
either
better
that or
than
you
Yami.
just
by a little bit, but
either
better.
that or your Chemo's Oath lets her move out of the way, you skirmish and move up to her without hitting her, and then hit her again. But then
True.
you don't get skirmish off, which is also plus 2 damage. So
Right. Yeah, that's a fair point.
either way, she's blocking something.
Alternatively, you just smite the pillar or the illusion, and then she doesn't go anywhere.
True.
Big
Yeah.
brain play. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. It has been our pleasure to bring you this lovely World Qualifier game. So, as we mentioned, this was the final regular World Qualifier of the Season 3 series. We will be taking a look at the Last Chance Qualifier happening next week. If you've not signed up for that already, please do so. The winner of the Last Chance Qualifier will compete against the Brazilian second place position from the Brazilian National Championships for the 8th slot in the World Championship Finals coming to you in December. So on behalf of Eric and Gameslayer and Zaraghul, thank you very much for joining us and have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.